It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleans in a bar today, we're at the fabulous Wayfare on Frisbee Street, where they have half-price drinks every day for 3 hours, from 3 to 6, and they call it Happy Hour. As well, they have half-price starters and bar food. Come on down here to Wayfare anytime you want from 3 to 6, and they have also a fabulous brunch on the weekends, or stick around here for the next 60 minutes and join us where we have a scintillating hour of conversation coming up, which we call, strangely enough, Happy Hour as well. Emily East is here. Hello, Emily.
Hello, how
and
are you?
East is spelled I-S-T-R-E.
It is.
So it's pronounced East because it's
French.
Cajun.
Cajun French.
Cajun French. And you're from Crowley, Louisiana originally.
I sure am.
But you live here in New Orleans.
I do.
And sitting next to you is a gentleman called Rathbone.
Yes, that is correct.
And is that your real name?
It's
part of your real name.
It's
a
an old
family name.
Yeah.
What sort of family was that?
What sort of family?
Yeah.
You mean it's just my family? I don't know, like a great uncle maybe.
Well,
something like
what
that.
sort of word is Rathbone? It's not French. It's English.
No, it's not. It is English. It is English. But it was actually, if you guys care to know, it was my great uncle's first name. His name was Rathbone de Bouise. But he was French as well.
That sounds very French.
Yes.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
Was it pronounced Rathbone or some other way? Like,
I mean, Rathbone is pretty straightforward, right? I mean,
I wonder if it was pronounced like Jamaican style,
that?
You know?
Can you give me
I don't know, but doesn't it sound sort of a Jamaican-y kind of name?
Does it? Am I the only one that doesn't think so?
Well, no, I don't know. Tommy Hayne is here as well. Tommy, do you think that's a Jamaican's possibly named Rathbone? I don't know. It sounds like a Jamaican
I think it's
artist.
a music name.
You said, there you
It's
go.
a musical name.
Yeah. We don't have to dissect it too much, but you did say English first. That was your first
So I'm going to
inclination.
stick with that.
Yeah, just English.
Okay. And now Tommy's name is Tommy Hayne, but at work they call him Ashton.
Well, my pagan first name is Ulysses, or U for short.
Your pagan first name is Ulysses.
So,
What does that mean?
I don't know. My initials are Utah, small U, big T-A-H. But we don't want to get
Utah, like the state.
kind of, but
Is it,
small U.
That's your real name?
They're a big U and a small T-A-H. I am a big T-A-H, a small U.
Are you guys following this, Emily?
Barely.
I checked out
Rathbone,
a few
right?
minutes ago. Yeah.
No,
I'm just-
so your name is Utah.
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 It's a
And
silent
what
U.
language is that? The U is silent.
American.
Is that right? Do you have all your
As I
marbles?
said, Ulysses is my self-given pagan first name.
You've adopted the word Ulysses.
I used to, in fact, live between Thane, Wyoming, and Ashton, Idaho. So I used to live between my name, but
so is
up
Ashton
from
your
Utah.
real name?
That is my grandfather's brother. Was he retired a 3-star general,
Okay.
but he was liked happy hour, shall we say?
He liked to have a drink.
Yes.
And he was who was he again? Your grandfather's.
My great uncle, my grandfather's brother.
Your grandfather's brother's your great uncle. Did you know that, Emily?
I did.
Rathbone,
That's
did
I'm
you
a
know
little
that?
Rathbone.
confused right now.
So your
Yeah.
your grandfather was called Rathbone? And
No, actually, it was my great uncle, I think, or great.
And it's your great uncle
so
as
we could
well.
both
we're
have.
talking about.
Yeah, they probably had a drink together at one point.
I wonder if they knew each other, the great uncles.
Yeah, they knew each other.
Do you know your great uncle, Emily?
I do.
I never
have his
knew
nose,
mine.
unfortunately.
What's the unfortunate part?
I have his nose.
You have your great uncle's nose.
And it's
What's he
All
do?
the pretty women in my family, and I took after him.
You don't think you're pretty?
I wear a lot of makeup.
Yeah. Well, does your great uncle wear makeup?
No. He might, maybe if I contoured his nose, it might help a little.
I will
Where's
trade
he-
noses.
So, your nose is fine too. You got a thing about your nose as well?
No.
Okay. Do you look in the mirror, Emily, and think, I wish I had someone else's nose? Well, you could get someone else's
I
nose.
am. I'm definitely.
Are you going to get surgery?
Well, I can't breathe out of the right side of it, so that's why.
So that's useless. The
Yeah.
right side of your nose is totally useless. How's the left side?
It's functional for the most part.
Why
until I
can't you
get
breathe
sick.
out of the right side? Too much cocaine in Las Vegas?
Oh, yeah. No,
That's what did it?
unfortunately.
You lived in Las Vegas.
I
though.
did live in Las
And
Vegas.
how much coke do they do there these days?
Probably a lot, but I had 5 jobs at a time when I was there, so I
Five?
didn't. Yeah, I was working constantly. I didn't live the typical Vegas.
I hope to introduce
life.
you to Mark Linam as well. Mark Linam is Rathbone's bass player. I'm sorry, Mark, I should have
No
mentioned that
problem at all.
earlier.
Everybody
Yeah.
forgets the bass player.
Yeah.
I'm used to it by now.
We're talking to the mic at least.
As I said,
No,
I'm
not
used to
that
it by
bit.
now.
No, not the bit where the actual.
He got it.
I got it. Sorry,
I hope we
I'm
got
not
a-
a singer.
I hope,
Obviously.
I hope we got
definitely
a
weren't backup
photo of that.
vocals.
That was good.
No, ma'am.
What did you think that bit of the microphone did then? You think that was the operative part where the wire goes in?
I have no
How
answer.
long have you been a musician?
I've been a musician since about 9 or 10 years old.
And how old are you now?
27.
So that's like 18, 23, about 48 years.
48.
48.
Yes. Yes.
40, right?
You're a
That's
mathematician.
yeah,
Carry the
that's a long
tune.
time. So you've been a musician.
Whoa, wow.
You've been a musician since you were 9.
Yes.
What did you start off playing?
Clarinet.
That's ambitious for 9, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was the first thing that worked for me.
You were just drawn to the clarinet.
That's
No, I actually wanted to play the flute
Why didn't you?
because I couldn't do it.
Did you try?
I didn't.
That's hard, isn't it?
Quite.
You got to.
I can play it now, but
Right.
when I was 9 years old, it was a little hard.
You just blow across the hole and move your fingers up and down.
I didn't
Doesn't look
understand that at the
Doesn't
time.
look that difficult when they do it on
It looks
TV.
easier than it's
Yeah, it does. I'm sure it's not easy. So the clarinet was easy. That doesn't look too easy, is it?
No, sir.
No, sir. That's more like it. You're the second person. You're the second person who's called me sir in 2 weeks now.
I blame my mother for that.
Yep.
Where did you grow up playing the clarinet? Here in New Orleans?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. What school did you go to?
Holy Cross School.
Okay.
Yeah, in the Lower Ninth Ward.
So were you
now
in
it's
the-
in Gentilly.
Were you in the band and all that? Playing the clarinet?
Yes, absolutely. I was clarinet, saxophone, and oboe player for
Oboe.
Holy Cross's band.
So they have an oboe in the band?
Yes, yeah, and like wind ensemble, the classical side of
By
it.
band, are we talking about the same thing? You're walking down the street?
Not marching.
No, not marching band.
Not marching band.
Yeah, I played in both. I played saxophone in the marching band, but
But what sort of band do you play the oboe in? What is
like
it?
a concert band or
Symphonic,
symphonic
right?
band
Symphonic
or
band.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
played an orchestra at Loyola on that instrument. No, that's huge for the orchestra, but
So you went to school to do as a music student?
yeah, music education from Loyola University.
And now you're a bass player in Rathbone's band.
Yep.
So Rathbone, you're doing some pretty cool stuff now.
You think so?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
I'm impressed with it.
Thank you.
So we saw you last time. Well, you've been on the show twice before with
Yes.
So Long Storyland.
That's correct.
So is it So Long to So Long Storyland? Or
I wouldn't say that. I think
Still going?
Yeah, I've been collaborating with a bunch of different artists, and I think now I've kind of branched out and starting my solo project. So this is kind of I basically have a lot of ideas that I couldn't bring to Storyland or to
Right.
other people that I felt like only I could pull off. So I started collaborating with Mark, and then I met Claire, who's in.
Claire doesn't want to talk to us. She
Yeah,
just
Claire.
wants to sing.
I think she's scared of you.
Okay.
No, which is fine because no,
That's fine. She doesn't have to talk. She's nervous.
No, she's an artist.
Some people like to sing and not talk. I must say that's pretty
Yeah.
common among musicians.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of people do not like talking.
Sure, introverted.
Right.
I get the whole bit,
Yeah.
but
Are you still teaching?
no,
So this is like you're just writing and
full time.
singing.
Yeah,
Cool.
I produce. I produce as well for other people, and whether it's film or it's music, songs, and various things, whatever.
Well, I like this new
Freelancer,
stuff.
I like to
Some of
say.
this new stuff sounds like sort of sounds like the dark side of
The Moon.
dark side. It's on the dark side of the Beach Boys.
Okay. Hey, I'll take it.
Do you think, Mark? Is that a good, fair description?
That's a very fair description.
I really like it a
Yeah.
lot. It sounds really cool.
Well, I appreciate that. I think you're probably referring to the last song I released, which it kind of did have a Beach Boys kind of style.
What's that
vocal.
called?
Springtime Carousel was the
Yeah,
latest
right.
single that I released. But I think I'm at the point where I'm just, just going to start releasing a bunch
Right.
of music, every month, just content.
I heard 3 new songs on Bandcamp. Was that?
Oh,
where
you
they
did?
are? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm basically
One of them
on
was
band.
Beach Boysy, and
Yeah.
the other, one of them was. They've all got great harmonies actually in them.
Yeah.
And your voice is great.
Oh well, thank you.
You got a really
Thank you. I've been
interesting-
working on it. You
yeah.
know? Yeah.
It's a whole new sound. It's quite different from So Long Storyland.
It is, yeah. I mean, in that project, I was more producing and writing. for another singer, and also certain things work and certain things don't work, like I was saying before.
Right.
And but I thought that was a special project as well, and I intend to return to it and
So you're a
collaborate.
partner in that. Have you guys heard this band? Emily, have you heard this band? So Long Story. And Tommy, have you heard these? It's
Peaked. I
it's
love the Beach
Rathbone.
Boys. and-
We're way
Yeah, okay.
underground. Way
underground. It's
Just like-
Rathbone and a young woman who was like 13 when we started out.
That
on
is
this.
right. Yeah, a young singer named Sophia. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool.
So
So you want to hear the new stuff, Tommy?
Sure.
Emily, what do you think?
I'd love to.
Okay,
Sure.
We'll make you play
Should we-
something.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, what do
definitely.
you think, you guys?
We'd love to.
What do you want to play?
We'll play a song that we actually, I would say we all wrote. We kind of all co-wrote.
Okay.
So
Emily, pull up a chair
I'll get
over
Claire
here.
to
I mean,
come
no,
up.
Emily. No, you're not singing, eh? I mean, Claire.
No, I'm retired from singing.
Did you
and
sing
then we'll
ever?
get the
I
blues.
did.
Did you? Oh, let's get on to that in a minute. Okay, here we go.
All right. Yeah, we got a few things here. Mark, you ready? Okay. This one's called Touch. I think is the working title. Touch. Yeah. All right. Wake up, Diana. The ground is at your feet. 6 months, no answer. The moment you believe, and I'll never get to say it. And you, you'll never get to.
Touch, I just needed your touch. I could never get enough. Love, I lost myself in the love, left me homeless and alone.
The Natchez is upriver and it's blowing off its steam, and you wait in a shiver for every little thing, and I'll never get to say it. And you, I'll never get you.
Touch, I just need your touch. I could never get enough. Love, I lost myself in the love, left me homeless and alone. Touch, I just need your touch. I could never get enough. I made you into my own drug. Love, I lost myself in the love, left me homeless and alone. Now I'm ready to withdraw from your love.
Okay, all right.
kind of just ends, but you get the
It's
idea.
got to end somehow or other, yeah. What did you think, you guys? Emily?
It's kind of like a Civil Wars, Howie Day kind of
I get
mashup.
that. Yeah, with the harmonies.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's
All
good.
right.
Thank
What do
you.
you think,
Thank
Tommy? What you were expecting?
I
You
wasn't
t-
sure what to
Ulysses,
expect.
I
It was
mean.
nice.
Yeah, very nice. What do you think, Claire?
Oh, I think we sounded great.
Okay.
Right.
Not to toot our own
Claire, how did you
horn.
get involved in all this?
I met Rathbone through another project I was doing called People Museum. We had some people come in and just play with us for a little while we were working stuff out. And so Rathbone came in and played, and then we spent another year writing music. So we didn't end up using Rathbone, but we intended to in another form.
Who did you replace him with?
It wasn't a replacement. It was just we brought somebody in to just learn our tunes and then play them.
Right.
Yeah.
So that outfit's called People Museum.
Yeah.
And is that in operation somewhere?
It's in operation. We're on a break because the person that I write music with in that band is on tour right now.
With Solange.
With
If
Solange.
you're not gonna,
No
Okay.
big deal.
Yeah.
no big
Yeah.
deal.
He's
Jeremy
kind of
Phipps,
hot
he's a-
stuff now.
No, he's a great
That's
musician.
Nesby Phipps?
Jeremy Phipps is his name, and
Is that not
that's
Jeremy
the
Phipps.
common
He's our
person of
buddy that
interest.
He's a trombone player.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
is,
yeah.
yeah.
Ah, we love him.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
amazing.
He's great.
He
yeah,
is great.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's been on Happy Hour a few times actually.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
And then he had another band. What was that band called of his?
Saint Bell.
yes,
Yeah.
St.
Yeah.
Bell.
That was his solo, right?
Yeah.
His solo. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, he is great.
And if, you guys should check out. They released a single not too long ago, People Museum, on SoundCloud. It's really, really good.
okay,
Yeah,
so
thank you,
that's
Andrew.
you and Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
Oh,
was
cool.
what was the name of the song?
You know what? I can't remember
Well, we
what
can look
it's
it up.
called at the moment.
Did
Not
you
so-
write it?
Yeah, me and Jeremy write all the music together.
Right, but you can't remember it. You remember how it goes? Even
It's like don't.
They all melt together.
Yeah, I
It's
know,
just
it's
been
just,
so
you
long
know.
since we released it.
right.
That's all right.
And then we're also in the
You think-
process of recording,
Yeah,
so all
it's-
the songs are
Do you
just...
think John Lennon
So
and
many
Paul
songs
McCartney
ago.
forgot the name
Oh.
of the
Oh,
song?
Sure,
yeah.
sure,
Weren't they
sure.
doing all the drugs? I mean, come on.
Is that your excuse? You're too high?
Well, no, don't tell my... No, that's not...
No,
No,
you're not doing any
it's
drugs.
Other reasons. No drugs
So what's the
today.
reason you forgot the name of the song if it's so great?
Oh,
So
What
many
else have you-
songs ago.
because, names are
So many
just... Names are nothing, right?
Well, it'd be good for us to go find it.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
if you
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to sell
It'll come to me.
Here's the thing, though. If you go to SoundCloud and look up People Museum.
yeah, how
Yeah,
many can
that's
there
it.
be?
By the way, People Museum is not here. We're here to talk about other. We're spending way
yeah.
too much. No, I'm just.
Good point. Get off of People Museum.
No, I'm kidding.
Let's
No,
talk
they
about
really
Bob
are
Marley.
great band. That is not them, but it's somebody calling.
That's just my ringtone, but I'm not
Hey,
answering.
I was looking up Bob Marley. Isn't that Bob Marley?
Yeah, that was Bob
Yeah.
Marley's Lively Up Yourself.
Yeah, I was looking him up the other day. Interesting life.
You just felt like Googling Bob Marley?
I forget what it was. Maybe it was something on social media that I saw a picture of, and I was like, interesting.
I wonder who
Never
that
a
guy
bad idea.
Yeah.
Are you a reggae fan, Tommy?
I love Bob Marley.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Was amazing.
Yeah, he was. He smoked a lot of weed. You don't smoke any weed at all,
And
right?
right now it's 4:20, guys. I don't want to.
Ah, perfect.
Just
time.
saying.
Don't
I just
panic,
saw
it's
that.
organic.
Synchronicity. Don't panic. Are you? What sort of drugs are they doing out there in Las Vegas? That's what we got up to. The cocaine
Yeah,
and your
he's-
nose not
Grant's
working.
all about that.
I'm not
Yeah.
exactly the
So
authority.
why does half of your nose not work?
I have a broken nose.
Broken.
Yeah.
How'd you break it?
Dancing.
Are you
falling,
serious?
Yeah.
Dancing is dangerous.
It is very dangerous.
So you're a dancer.
Yes, I am.
You went to Las Vegas. You moved to Las Vegas to be a dancer. You've been a dancer your whole life as well.
Since I was 3. Yeah.
3?
Yeah, I've trained ballet, tap jazz, all of that stuff.
How did you start off at 3?
I guess I was annoying my parents and they needed something for me to do. So they put me in dance class.
And that was in Crowley.
Crowley, Louisiana, but I was super lucky to have an amazing dance teacher, Brenda Core, who was way ahead of anything happening in our small little community, and she's a very creative genius and,
That's
just
cool. Is
cared
she
a
still
lot.
there?
She is. We just celebrated actually the 30th year of the studio this past recital, and we kind of showed up, some alumni, we showed up with flowers to surprise her. And
Wow. So she's just one of these strange people who ends up in a small town.
she's from a small town and then married someone from Crowley, and, she just luckily lended her gift to our little community.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you went from there to where?
I went to from Crowley to Lafayette to go to UL for a little while, and then I was like, I gotta get out of Lafayette. Like, I gotta just
Did you graduate from UL or
No,
not?
I dropped
really?
out. I dropped out because I was like, I need to just go see what I'm made of, and if I can make it anywhere else, because it was too easy. You know, you get kind of too big of a safety net in a small
Lafayette.
town. And I love Lafayette with my whole heart. I always will, but I needed to go see what I could do. So I left and I went to Las Vegas. I didn't know anybody and just kind of started my whole
You
life.
didn't know anybody in Las Vegas. You just decided to go to Las Vegas.
I put a map out on my bed,
I commend you
and
for
I
that.
was
That's awesome.
That's
I was
pretty brave,
aiming
man.
That's
for
great.
San Francisco, Los Angeles, or San Diego, but my finger landed in Nevada. So I was like,
Your finger.
Vegas? Yeah, I spun around and I put a map on my bed.
Yeah,
spun
an
around.
actual map.
Yeah, what if it had ended up in like Russia? Would you have done it, or
No,
still?
definitely
Okay,
not.
it's just a
No.
You'd have
coincidence.
to do
I've
another
had
finger.
my experience. I danced with the Moscow Ballet for a little while.
Wow.
I'm done being
What?
beaten by Russians.
I don't think I've ever heard that sentence. Have you guys? I danced with the Moscow
I've never
Ballet.
heard
When
that
I was in
before.
high school, they toured the United States with the Nutcracker, and we had an opportunity
Wow.
to audition.
So
and
you must be pretty
train.
damn good then.
I'm not too
I
shabby.
would think so.
You must be.
I noticed you got a bass clef tattoo on your
Yeah.
right arm.
Do you?
Are you a musician as well?
I
or-
used to. I had a little band in Vegas.
Okay,
with some friends
cool.
of mine. I used to sing and stuff, but
Wow.
What was the name of that band?
Multi-
nobody
Multi-talented.
special.
Nobody special.
Yeah.
Can we Google
I
that one?
I didn't want to get people's hopes up whenever they saw it on the marquee. So I was like, let's
Has
just
that
name
been
it.
erased from history now, or can we still find it?
Probably. I mean, there might be some like YouTube or Facebook videos up. It
So
was
you
just
were
like
a
little,
singer.
I used to be.
What sort of music would it be?
The stuff I wrote was more like blues driven, but I don't have a bluesy voice, which was like very frustrating for me. Because like I just want Susan Tedeschi's voice. That's all
Whoops.
I want, you know.
Right.
While I break
Whoops.
all the equipment.
No,
Thank
that's
you.
okay. We have more. headphones.
So yeah. I
But
just
did you go to
wanted-
Vegas to be a dancer or a singer? Or
A
didn't
dancer.
Just anything?
But the thing is
Hang on,
that
is it?
I broke it.
No, I think it'll work. There you go. You went there to be a dancer, but you ended up singing.
Well, the thing is that like both my parents are musicians, and I grew up in a very musical family. But I don't like
Accordion
singing.
player? Is one of them an accordion player?
No, unfortunately.
They're actual musicians.
My dad's a guitarist, my mom's a pianist.
Really?
Yeah.
Usually in Lafayette, when people say I'm a musician, it means they play the accordion.
Or the fiddle.
Yeah.
Well, the fiddle. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But
But-
neither in your
Tried
case.
and true.
Guitar
No,
and
neither
piano.
in my case. But whenever I'd go to auditions, they'd say, "Do you sing?" And I'm like, "Will it get me the job?" Because and if I sang, then I was more likely to be hired, and that was the case. I didn't like singing. I don't like singing in front of people. It's
don't?
not something fun for me.
Let's do a song.
I was going to say, let's talk you into it. Yeah. You can play a blues, right?
No,
What?
No, we're not gonna put it on
No,
the
we're
spot
not
like
doing
that.
it.
That
No,
is
we're not doing
not
it.
cool. Come
Not
on.
it.
But we could make you dance.
But
That
we
would be
could.
cool.
yeah, 5, 6, 7,
7, 8.
Come on, guys. Yeah, I got that 5, 6, 7, 8 right there.
So that's on your tattooed as well on your hand?
You got dancing and
Let's
music.
have a look. You've got 5, 6, 7, 8 tattooed on your wrist. How drunk were you when you did that?
I wasn't actually. I got this
Really?
with a couple of girls I used to dance with in Vegas before I left. It was like we all have it now. It's our little like.
Everyone's got the 5, 6, 7, 8 tattoo. That's cool. How many of you are there?
There was 3 of us that did it together.
3 girls. Okay. You all went together, sober, to get the 5, 6,
Sober.
7, 8.
Yeah, I never really thought any of my tattoos through when I was like in my 20s. I was just like, yeah, I'll go get a tattoo. I don't care, whatever.
So what have you got? You got that one, and where you got the bass clef somewhere on
Yeah,
there.
and
Oh, you
then
got a few. What's
you
on?
got treble
Oh, you
as
got tons of them. Let's have a look at this one. That's a bass clef on. That must have hurt like hell on your wrist.
I don't remember. I don't think it
Let's
bothered
take you
me
back.
too
Let's
bad.
hypnotize you.
Okay,
And
well,
take you back
'cause
to.
the
You're
guys-
feeling sleepy. Okay. So you don't remember getting that done. I can't
I remember
believe
getting
that
it
even.
done. I just don't remember it bothering me because that was
Well,
my
can't have
first
hurt.
one,
Really?
and I was
That,
like,
I thought that was the most painful place on your wrist.
I'm a
on the
woman.
back.
I have a very high
tolerance of pain.
threshold for pain.
Really?
Women
we'll
are much
find
tougher for
We'll
me.
see about that in the next few minutes. What does this say?
It says, "Envy is ignorance, imitation is suicide." It's
Oh my
from
God! You've got the word
Emerson's.
suicide tattooed on your.
I know. I thought about that later, but it's from Emerson's essay on self-reliance, and that was just something that I kind of held close to my heart when I lived in Vegas because it is such a superficial place.
Right.
So that was just kind of. I don't know why I needed to put it on my arm to remind me that, but.
Does it remind you? Do you ever look at it?
Yeah, I mean, I forget. Sometimes I'll be like at the country club and these ladies are like looking at me like, she's got tattoos. I'm like, oh, I forgot about those.
So you're hanging out at the country club. That's interesting. What does
Well-
it say again?
Envy is ignorance.
Envy is ignorance.
Imitation is suicide.
Wow.
Are those true, Grant Morris?
I thought imitation
is flattery.
That's what I was just going to say. It's the sincerest form of flattery. Is that what it says, Tommy? Is that?
I believe so.
Maybe in different contexts.
It's a morose way to say to thine own self be true, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, how did you even read Emerson's essay on self-reliance?
I
I've
just
never even heard
wasn't
of
a
it.
popular kid, and so I just
So you spent a lot of time.
alone listening to music.
That's because
and
of your
reading stuff.
great uncle's nose,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Otherwise, you would have been the
I looked
hottest
like
girl.
Blossom when I was little.
Blossom, what's that?
Oh, never mind. This is like only 90s kids would know.
Yeah, no, I know.
What is
Yeah.
it?
It's
She's
a
now on like the Big
sitcom.
Bang Theory.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, she's like
Wow.
Sheldon's girlfriend on the Big Bang Theory.
Really?
I
So
didn't
when
know
did you
that.
discover you're actually attractive? Was it later in life somewhere?
I don't know. I learned how to do makeup.
That's the
And,
key. The whole
yeah,
thing.
it
That would
really
save
is.
us all.
Yeah.
So if I learned to do makeup, it would be a
Yeah,
whole new
you-
world for me as well.
You'd clean up
There's
nice.
hope for us.
Okay. Tommy, what do you think? Are you up for it? Makeup lesson? How did you learn how to do that?
Pedicure.
YouTube?
No, I just, my dad's an artist, and that's like my art is makeup.
He's a visual artist.
Yeah. He does all kinds of watercolor, pen and ink.
And that gives you some sort of gene that lets you do makeup on your face if your dad's an
Yeah.
artist.
I have a gene. I'm artistic to a
Right.
degree. I don't have the need
Well-
to paint, but I just paint people's faces.
You can do other people's makeup
Yeah,
as well.
I actually
Let's do it.
All right.
Right now?
Come on, have you got it here?
I don't.
Ah.
I didn't know that. I didn't
Weren't
prepare for
prepared.
the.
So you do?
the
Are you a
pop
makeup
quiz.
artist as well as a dancer?
Yes.
Okay. And
I
it
do
says
makeup at Style House.
at Style House. But the good thing about your nose is it's given you the ability to play the part of Cleopatra a couple of times.
Yes, it has.
So that can't be bad because doesn't Angelina Jolie play Cleopatra as well sometimes?
Didn't Elizabeth
And
Taylor?
Elizabeth Taylor played
Yeah.
Cleopatra. Yeah, so you're in pretty good company.
I am. Yeah, that was
Wait, you played Cleopatra?
I was Cleopatra for Caesar's Palace.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, in
All
Las
right.
Vegas, and I got to go on to the Oprah show with Celine
Wow.
Dion as Cleopatra.
Oh, my
I got
goodness.
and the costume I wore was a Bob Mackie costume
Okay.
that he designed for Caesar's Palace. So I got to meet Oprah
Oh
wearing
my
Bob
God.
Mackie. So that was pretty cool.
That's like the highlight of maybe your Vegas excursion?
one
or-
of 'em.
How long were you there for?
5.5 years.
Wow, okay.
That's a long
Yeah.
time.
I mean, that's meeting Oprah, that's tough to beat.
And when I met Oprah, I hugged her and I said, "Well, now I'm officially my mother's favorite child. So thank you for that."
That's a pretty good line too. So how was that? What were you doing? You on her show?
Yeah, well, we were giving
With
away.
Celine Dion.
Celine was announcing her new show at Caesars at the Coliseum, and so we went with her, me and the guys that were the Centurions and Caesar, and we gave away a vacation and a trip to this
Oh,
couple.
I see. So you were like the embodiment of Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
You were Cleopatra from Caesar's Palace.
That's me.
Did Celine Dion have like a residency there? Or?
Yes.
Okay,
she,
that's
she
fine.
had two different shows. The first one was designed by David LaChapelle.
Oh, okay.
And then the second one, I think, was more Cirque. I'm not sure. I don't think it was Cirque, but it was kind of had more of that.
Well, she had sort of
Okay.
invented this whole residency in Las Vegas, didn't she? She started this.
Oh,
no,
no,
Frank
Elvis.
Sinatra
Sinatra, yeah.
at Caesars,
Well,
Grant,
okay.
come on.
But the modern day one. I mean,
modern day.
Vegas was just a place where
I think
people were
Britney
like.
Spears invented it.
Vegas was
Britney's
a sort of a
relatively new
wasteland.
to the residency.
Yeah.
I thought they built that giant theater for Celine Dion, and that began this whole
The
sort of new
Coliseum?
era. Whatever it was, I have no idea what
I'm
it
not
was.
sure. Maybe.
It was some $40 million theater they
Yeah.
built especially for her, and
And then, well, whenever she was there, it was her, Elton John, and Cher. They all did. They
Right.
had. So whenever they were all.
but she had her own theater. I mean, even when Elvis was there and Frank Sinatra, they played at the Tropicana or whatever it was, but they
Oh.
didn't have a residency. They were there for 3 nights, or they were there for a week, or
Oh.
2 weeks, or whatever. But they built this
Okay.
theater for Celine Dion specifically.
Oh, all right. That's where
At
you're
some
coming from.
huge cost.
That's-
yeah.
yeah.
And millions and millions of dollars.
She's kind of a big deal, though.
Yeah.
You know.
Is she as tall as you?
She's maybe just a little bit shorter than me.
Mm-hmm.
I think. From what I don't know. She just kept. My heart will go on. My heart will go on. That's what she kept going up to all the Centurions. That's a true story. I was like, what?
Actually, Claire was doing a Celine Dion impression last night.
Yeah.
Can you do it right now?
What's the song that was?
Yeah, fair. You know, you just gotta go back.
Yeah.
you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
know.
good. That's I thought
You know,
that
it's
was
not bad.
pretty spot on. No, I knew exactly who that was.
Celine, poor Celine Dion. Tommy,
Poor.
first of all, listen, I have to tell you about, before we go any further, I have to tell you about Hangover Destroyer. Do you know anything about Hangover Destroyer?
I can glean enough from the title.
It's free, first of all.
Oh.
You can help yourselves to
Gimme.
some Hangover Destroyer. I'll tell you about it. It's the only all-natural product that's medically proven to prevent a hangover.
Wow.
Medically proven to
What
prevent a
about
hangover.
Party Smart?
What's that?
It's
Well,
for,
they don't sponsor this
Is it the
show,
same
so-
thing? Have you tried Party Smart? Did it
Doesn't
work?
exist.
I have tried it, and
What'd you think?
well, I think the basic thing is replacing the B vitamins that you get a deficiency of when you drink a lot. But
This if you take this before you start drinking or while
Right,
you're drinking.
right.
Is
That's
it the
the
same
idea.
principle?
yeah, this is a pill, not a gel. So
Okay. That would be even better. You just swig it back, a pill. And it works. This stuff is meant to work as well. It's guaranteed.
I'll give it a test
Guaranteed.
run today.
I'll
Emily,
have to
take
get
one
my
down
get
to-
my drunk on, and
Yeah, we'll have to try
Take
it.
Okay.
one down to
I'm gonna head out
Wednesdays
to
at the
Wednesday in the
Square.
Square.
So you knock that
Oh, yeah.
back before you.
It's the last one tonight.
Who's playing?
I don't know, but my friend Megan
Sweet
Cliff is the
Crude,
host.
Mia
Oh.
Borders, I believe.
Oh,
Mia
yeah.
Borders, okay. So if you go to the website, Hangover Destroyer website, it's called hdestroyer.com.
Cool.
And you write happy hour on the coupon code, you get 30% off your first order of Hangover Destroyer, except people sitting at the table to get it for nothing.
Sweet.
But if
That's
you're
my
listening to
favorite
this-
kind.
Okay.
It's my
Yeah.
kind of favorite kind
Free.
of thing. It's free thing.
Free is great. So that's the story. And then also thank you to Basic Swim and Gym. You know about them, Basic Swim and Gym?
No.
You ever heard of that? That's where you can get a full range of fashion swimsuits, workout, and yoga clothes. Anyone do yoga here? Claire, come on, you have to do yoga.
I don't do yoga.
What do you do?
I ride my bike.
YouTube.
Well, don't you wear yoga clothes to ride your bike like everybody
You
else
know,
in town?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought if you're a woman, you had to wear yoga clothes.
Oh,
now.
no.
It's like compulsory.
No.
Do you have yoga clothes? Well, you're a
Of
dancer.
course I
ain't
do.
you?
I'm
Do you do
like-
yoga?
Occasionally. Not like I should, but
Well,
I do.
you might need to go to Basics Swim and Gym where they have a full range of
And where
fashion
is?
swimsuits and yoga clothes. It's on Magazine Street,
Oh, okay.
right next to Basics underneath the lingerie store, which is just
Perfect.
near Jefferson Avenue.
perfect for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
close to where
New
you,
lingerie.
Yeah.
you can
All
ride your
Rathbone's
bike there.
needs. Yeah.
You can ride your bike there and get some lingerie and a swimsuit and some yoga clothes. And it's right down the street, of course, from the Whole Food Company, where you can go and find Tommy Hayne anytime you want.
I'm the backdoor man, so
He's
that'd
in the
be hard
back.
to find.
Oh.
Tommy's the team leader for the receiving team.
Yeah.
Is that correct? It's like a football
I
player.
was. Now I'm just
What do you-
lead receiver.
Lead receiver. What does that mean?
That I'm no longer. That they
They
eliminated the
demoted you?
position of team leader in receiving. So
So you got a demotion. Are you getting paid less, or are
well-
they paying you the same? That's the only thing that matters, really.
well, the most you could make was lowered, but I wasn't quite there yet. So
Wait, you work at Whole Foods, right?
yes.
Okay.
That's true. Yes.
And so, what does lead receiver mean? Just
Well,
just for
the-
the.
Just for the record
everything
books.
that comes in, all the beer, all
Okay,
the
so it's
wine,
like
all
you're
the
handling
liquor,
all-
all
yeah,
the
yeah. Got it.
Party Smart, everything. I
Hangover
make sure.
Destroyer.
Hangover Destroyer.
I,
Not Party Smart.
well, we don't. The
Don't
Party
carry
Smart
that,
comes
okay.
to us. We
Like
don't
Party
get.
Smart
But
doesn't-
maybe we can get
You
this.
can,
It's
listen,
all
you're the lead
natural,
receiver.
so,
You can take this with you right now. It's all natural. You can take it and put it on the shelf, see if anyone buys it. Not a bad. Do you do that? You don't decide what goes on there. You just receive it.
Correct. My powers are. It's like in what was the game Strategy, where like the mind guy, where he has like different like there are things he can do, but there are
Right.
things that,
Yeah.
that
You got certain
he can't
powers, and yeah.
do. It's limited to
Right.
Is it the one uptown?
the one
Yeah.
up top.
Yeah.
Right by Basics Swim and Gym and Basics.
Oh, yeah, Basics
underneath
Swim and Gym,
lingerie.
Basics Swim and Gym.
So what you're doing there in the back, you're unloading trucks. Or are
I'm
you
making sure,
supervising
doing all the
people?
accounting for that,
Ah.
unloading trucks, and making
Are you
sure.
physically unloading trucks, or are you supervising other
Today I was.
people? But
Yesterday I was not, but I'm primarily making sure everything
Right.
is accounted for, and
okay.
when
So
there are
you're-
issues, which there inevitably are, I am the one.
What are the sort of
fixing
issues?
it.
Like stuff doesn't arrive?
We get the wrong
It's broken.
product. The other day they
Right.
sent 10 packages to us of all sorts of balls and all, and
Balls.
5 of them should have gone to Fayetteville, and 5 of them, we should have gotten 10 for us, and they should have gotten 10.
Balls.
We got 5 of theirs and 5 of ours, and so we got twice as many of some products and didn't get others, and
Right.
and then I had to count it
So
a
it's all-
second time.
It's all
and-
your responsibility.
And
when
so
that all
then
fucks
it's
up.
like, well, I was planning on getting out of work early, but I had the perfect storm. But,
Okay.
not today, but although this week has been busy.
So I can bike to Whole Food. Well, I'm like you, Claire. I bike over to Whole Food. I can get $100 worth of groceries on my bicycle easily without even struggling
Yeah.
to fill up the bag.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you
Two
noticed
grocery
that?
bags full.
Easily. Yeah, not even.
Yeah.
So how come they're in trouble, Whole Food?
Well, it's a competitive market. It's a crazy world, and
What is the problem there?
well,
seems to
the
be a lot of people
problem
in there, and it's
is that
super
the
expensive.
focus on life is making as much money as you can for the stockholders, and so Whole Foods, like everyone else, is seeking that out, and to do that, it's any business gets fairly cutthroat when there's competition, and they had a great market, and at this point, there's Trader Joe's moving into town.
Right.
There's conventional stores getting into the game, Costco, Sam's, this and that,
Everybody's got organic.
and so that's
So they used to be
just my job. That isn't my life. That's
Yeah.
that's
No, we're interested
when
in
I'm
some-
at work, it's all work, and when I'm
Right.
at play, it's all play.
See, you got the kind of job where you can walk away from. Unlike anybody else at this table here,
Yeah.
who are artists who are living it constantly.
Well, yeah, although I have Rathbone, and y'all are doing stuff that you love to do, and while I enjoy doing what I'm doing, it isn't quite my.
Which is healthy, that it doesn't consume you.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a healthy thing.
it's you can pick whatever side, what side you want to look at, and it always looks better on the other side if
Yeah.
we.
Would
look
you
at
rather
things
be
that
a
way.
musician?
I did work during Jazz Fest. I normally work one night, maybe a year, and I worked 2 nights at the Sanger, and I made great money and had a great time, and it was really good. But it is a challenging, tough lifestyle, and it's definitely not easy. But if it's something that's true to your heart, it's wonderful if you can make it work.
Right.
Sure.
It just sucks whenever the thing that you love the most in life is what you have to depend on your income as, and then it becomes a job, and then it's not. It's not. It takes the fun out of it. I mean, I walked away from dancing 5 years ago. I retired. I was like, I gotta go home. I need a break. Because it's like
Well, I get it. It's like you work at an ice cream shop. I love ice cream, and then you work at an ice cream shop, and then you're like, I'm over it. You
Yeah.
know? And it's like, what? I mean, I'm not. I worked at an ice cream shop, and I never got over it. But I understand
But
for
when
sure.
it becomes a business and you got to take gigs that you're like, why am I doing this? Like, I
Yeah,
don't want this
although
gig. This isn't what I
ideal-
trained for.
Ideally in life, we are doing something that we are that we enjoy and get pleasure out of, and we keep it where it is something that we enjoy. But I certainly get it. I mean, we can do
But if
things.
you take a hobby and you make it into something that you have to do, if it's something that it's your passion, and then all of a sudden, okay, I have to make money off of this. It can go the other way. You can make it to where, okay, I have to do this, and it has to happen, and it has to work. So you make it happen. It could be a challenge that and then you kind of live up to it, or you.
Well, the thing is,
Shy
if
away
you want to
from
be
it.
successful as a dancer or as a musician,
Right.
you have to give it everything.
Yeah, right. There can't be anything left on the table.
It's pretty hard to have. Well, you can have a part-time job waiting tables and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's difficult, isn't it? So you have to sort of give it
I
everything.
mean, so much of life is what we make of it. And if we have something happen, we can look what happened to me, and I can be like, oh man, this is horrible. Life is
Yeah.
tragic. Or, we can look
what do you,
at
what do you
rosy
mean? What
results.
happened to you?
Well, I've had all sorts of things happen. I've jumped off of cliffs in Wyoming, and
Whoa.
I've jumped off of mountains and gotten up to 7,000 feet higher than when I jumped in a paraglider. And
You jumped off a cliff in
Well,
Wyoming.
I
What
was-
does-
He's a
let's
thrill
start
seeker.
with that one. What do you mean?
well, just living in Jackson Hole, everyone gets all extreme skiing and Everyone wants to do something better and make a name for themselves, which I wasn't out to do that. I wasn't, but I would certainly ski down stuff. And remember my first jump in Jackson Hole, I'm with a friend, and I'm just visiting, and I'm wearing a poncho, which was good for listening to Bob Marley, shall we say, on a windy day. But when he took me jumping off a jump, all of a sudden I couldn't see, but it's okay.
Your poncho flew up over your face as you...
Yeah, I was looked like a Cajun skier there or whatever, a fool. But we've got to either laugh at ourselves, because if we're not, we're maybe crying at ourselves. So, in life, it's just important to stay balanced, which I'm not taking yoga, but maybe taking yoga and getting these clothes will get you in a better place.
April can help you with that. Where's April?
April does, yeah. What about the day you got shot?
The second time.
The second time.
Oh my God.
Let's start with the first one.
Well, the first
you
time I was
50
just a
Cent?
kid, and it was just bird shot. I got hit by a car on Friday, and then on Saturday I got hit by bird shot. But you're a kid.
Was it
so
the person driving the car that shot you as well?
Well, no, that
two
was
different
out in
people?
Mississippi. Just some good old boy hunter was aiming at some dove low to the ground, and whatever. That was nothing.
He shot you, and this is in the woods?
This was out in the dove fields of Mississippi.
You were wandering around the dove fields of Mississippi, and some
Hunting.
random...
I was hunting also, so it's
You were shooting doves as well.
in the past,
How
in a
hungry-
previous life.
Yeah, how hungry would you have to be to shoot a fucking dove? Really?
I don't know if
It's
we
almost
were
like
doing it for
asking for-
hunger. I think it was more for the killing aspect.
To
you
kill a
know,
dove,
game.
that seems a strange animal to want to kill, doesn't it? It's sort of the symbol of
And
peace.
a symbol
know.
of peace.
Yes.
I understand. I remember being in Amsterdam and telling a guy about this dove hunting, and he's like, "What? You're hunting dove?" And I'm like, "Well, you don't understand. These guys are real religious and all, some of them." And he's like, "And they call themselves religious? What?" But no, well, I mean, I've come full circle where I
Right.
don't even eat any meat anymore, and I love birds. I love to watch them fly. I mean, I love it this time of year when Mississippi kites are all around our city flying around, and but I don't know. That was nothing. That was
And the second time you got shot was a couple of weeks ago.
well, it was a couple months ago.
Months ago now, okay.
But that's time flies.
It does.
And I was walking my dog at 6 in the morning, as I do before work, and it's dark, and
What's the dog's name?
Flint.
Flint. Okay.
Yes, he is my hero, my kid.
Right.
And it was just before his second birthday, and saw somebody checking out cars, looking at, saw him go to a car, go to another car, go across the street, and I go, "Hey, get out of here, man!" And the guy runs, and then at that point we have decisions. Life is full of decisions.
Yes.
And I would say, in hindsight, a lot of times we have challenges, and how we handle them can make the difference in everything. But I wanted to make sure the person was gone, and
He was running away at this point.
well, he ran around the corner,
Okay.
and so I went with Flint. And
How many pounds is Flint?
Flint is he's a miniature Great Dane Weimaraner, a mini Great White. He's like 80
Miniature
pounds.
80 pounds.
He's a little
Yes.
big dog.
He's
80
yes.
pounds is big.
Yeah, that is.
boy, yes.
So he looks pretty scary.
Well, I wanted a little dog, and my wife wanted a big one. So this
So
was
80
the
pounds is-
rescue
okay.
from.
So you're thinking
Slide
that
Up.
no one's going to be menacing you when you've got an 80-pound dog next to you.
Well, I don't know if I was thinking. I'm not sure. Sometimes
It
I was
gives you a
just
bit of
reacting.
confidence there.
But yeah,
Okay.
I go
So
around the
go
corner.
around the corner.
And,
For
and-
what reason? You're going around
Well,
the corner
I
to
just
see
want to
what
make
happened.
sure that this guy
Right.
is just it's still up to no good. And for some reason, I cross the street, and I'm kind of hiding in the shadows and just looking. And I see the guy, and I guess you gave me the okay before the show, but I saw him a second time. So I go, "Hey, get the fuck out of here!" And I couldn't see. It's 6 in the morning, and next thing I know, he unloads his gun, 5 shots at me.
Wow.
And
Could you see that or just see the...
it happened in about 2 seconds, and
Wow.
I didn't really. And then I'm like, I think he just. In fact, I'm wearing the pants I was wearing when it happened, but I go, look at my leg, and I could see
Shorts, you're
where
wearing
where he
shorts.
shot me, and didn't
could
really
see it.
didn't hurt. And I didn't hang around. I started walking back to my house and called the police as I'm walking back, and think in hindsight, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of times we don't know how we're going to react to different situations, and
So you got shot in the leg.
yeah, and I
Is Flint
actually
okay?
it hit me in the leg, right where his
That's
head
what
is.
Emily wants to know.
Flint, is Flint
Oh,
okay?
Flint, I
It
thought you
hit a-
said the pants. Okay.
It hit a couple inches away, right at his head level, but my leg instead of his head. If he would have hit my dog, I don't know how I would have reacted, but luckily the
But
dog's
so-
okay. There were 2 shots in the house behind me, like at head level,
Oh
and
my God. So he shot 5 shots at you. One of them hit you in the leg and the thigh, in the upper thigh.
yeah, right above my knee, and
Okay,
came out the
no, no.
back, and
Went right through your leg.
but I don't know. I mean, I was super lucky, and I feel fortunate. I mean, it.
Yes.
You
I
probably
never
had
was-
a lot of adrenaline too at the
I
time. Probably
guess. I mean, I.
didn't hurt.
It didn't hurt.
in the time that it happened.
And then I go to the hospital, and there's like 20 people in there, and the EMT, I went in an ambulance, and he's like, well, they're probably going to rip your clothes off and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they're making sure I didn't get shot anywhere else. And then they moved me to a low-level ICU. I guess they have high-level and low-level. And then it was mostly just waiting. And my mom comes in, and I'm like, yeah, Mom, I'm out. My wife called her. My wife came, and then...
So you go home and you tell your wife, hey, honey, I've been shot. Was she at home?
Well, she heard it. She heard me
I
yell
guess.
at the guy. She heard it, and then the police were there probably within 2 minutes, really quickly.
Well, that's impressive right there.
The
That's
EMT,
Take it all back.
EMT was there probably within 4 minutes.
Wow.
Fire
Okay.
truck was there pretty quickly, and
Are you paying for all this? Did you find out later that you paid for the cops, the police?
I
mean, the fire truck
I didn't
and the
know
ambulance?
until yesterday.
Ah.
I've been checking my insurance, and I was checking it every day. I'm like twice a day, and I'm looking, and it was like, wow, they've only charged me $80. And then yesterday, it's like, finally, there's 2 months later, there's like I guess I'm responsible for like $850 of the most recent part of it, and
How much was the ambulance ride?
I don't know if this was an ambulance ride because something was for $1,800,
Yeah,
and that's the
that could be
biggest.
the ambulance.
And
That's
Yeah.
probably the ambulance, $1,800. That sounds right.
yeah, which I'm responsible for half of it, and so that's probably the most painful part of it because I went to work the
It's
next
more painful
day.
than being shot is the bill.
Well, I went to work
Yeah.
the next day. I played in a Frisbee tournament that weekend, a high-level ultimate tournament.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Was
God.
one
Trooper.
point
Yeah.
away,
Trooper. He's-
Tough guy.
a point
Iron
away
Man.
from going to finals. The New Orleans team didn't quite do as well, but
Wow.
not that I
Is
was
it-
a star player, but I was
This is
definitely
ultimate frisbee.
yes.
Do you guys know anything about ultimate frisbee?
Sure.
What exactly is it? It's like a
Kind
team
of
sport. with
football, soccer, and basketball combined, but non-contact.
Played
in
frisbee
theory.
golf in college.
Yeah, Frisbee football.
Yeah, Frisbee
Right.
football,
Okay.
7
How
on
many-
7.
7 aside.
Emily knows.
And have you played it, Emily?
I have with my brute strength.
She's got
Well,
a
no,
fris-
she
she's
played
got
Frisbee
an
golf.
Frisbee tattoo.
Yeah, that's my whole lower back. I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I don't have a lower back tattoo.
You don't have a lot of
too
I
late.
do
tattoos.
not.
Tommy, you work at Whole Food. How come you don't have a lot of tattoos? You're the only
I
person
am,
in Whole Food.
I'm an anomaly.
You are. Everyone's got tattoos. I thought you had to have them to work there. Pat.
My wife has the tattoos.
Does she work at
Yes.
Whole Foods too?
No.
Well, she could. What does she do?
Is that a
Are you
prerequisite?
stereotyping people that work at Whole Foods? That
Have
they
you
have to
ever
have?
been in Whole
No,
Foods?
of course. Yeah.
They've
I
all
mean-
got tattoos.
I mean, I just see
They've
people.
got
I don't
tattoos
see
on
the
their necks,
tattoo.
on their faces. Everybody's got tattoos everywhere. at Whole
Mine are on my inside of my lip, and I wouldn't want to show it to you because
Yeah,
you
you
would be
must now.
offended.
Foods. On the inside of your lips.
Says, fuck you.
Do you really have one? We did have someone who
No,
has
he
a
just
tattoo.
showed us. It didn't.
No, it doesn't. Oh, okay.
But I did know a guy who played Ultimate, and he was in the National Guard, and that was his tattoo on the inside of his
fuck
mouth.
you on the
And he's
inside
like,
of his lip.
He's like, you want to fight? Well, I don't need a reason to fight. I'll fight you when he'd see somebody, and he was just a pretty good guy. I never had issues with him, but he wasn't afraid.
Yeah.
Which I'm
Okay.
not afraid, but I just figure.
Apparently not.
No macho
No,
dudes.
no, not at all.
Well, I mean, things happen, and we can.
You're lucky you're alive. Is
Yeah.
what happened.
Well,
Yeah.
I've used up more than a few lives.
You jumped off a cliff in Wyoming.
Well,
You've been
a few,
shot
a few.
twice. That's pretty impressive so far. That's
You know,
all we
today when I got up in the morning, I live in a loft, a bed, and I was getting down on the ladder, and I slipped, and I fell, and I
Ooh.
brushed my.
Danger zone.
Yeah.
That's a tough thing
If
to
you
do
want to know
first.
more about it, you know, I can tell you the full story. But it was dangerous.
So you wake up, and the first thing you have to do when you wake up in the morning is go down a
climb
ladder.
Down a ladder, yeah.
Well,
don't know
there's a million and one times in our life where, like, if somebody, you're driving and somebody's texting or whatever, and
Yeah.
and runs a light or whatever. We have a lot of different times, and it's amazing, like skiing or whatever, that there aren't more injuries with how.
We're just
how
driving down the I-10 on any given day. There's
Sure.
Yeah.
only one person has to move the steering wheel a quarter of an inch, and we're all wiped out.
It sounds
It
like
is.
you've had a very adventurous kind of life.
I
You've
haven't had a
sought
boring
that kind of
life.
thing, you know. I don't think I'll ever jump out of a plane or
No,
jump
I've never
off a
jumped
cliff.
out of a plane. This
well,
was,
jump off a cliff either way, or bungee jump.
I had a
don't really have
coffee shop in Idaho called Cody's Cafe, and he was an amazing dog. But when he finally passed on,
Hang on a second, I lost you there.
Uh-oh.
You had a coffee shop with a dog in it.
Cody's Cafe. This husky
Was it-
found me here, and he
was
knew I
named
would.
after the
He
dog.
knew I would take him out west, and which
He
I
knew
did.
that.
I took him to the Tetons.
The dog had some sort of foreknowledge of where
He
he'd be
did.
going.
I mean, a husky in New Orleans.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have a husky in New
That's
Orleans.
what I think too. It's too hot.
You found him.
Yeah, he found
He
me.
found you.
I came home one day and he was in my yard.
Wow, that's cool.
And so it took me a year, but a year later I moved to Idaho, then Wyoming, then Montana.
The dog talked you into it.
Did
you do it for the dog, thinking I should
He was a
take
pretty
the
good
dog?
boss, but
Did you seriously think I should take this dog and live somewhere cooler?
well, it was a good excuse.
Okay.
But when he died, the least I could do for him. I mean, we could go on all the rest of the thing, just about stories with him.
Sure.
But
Tell us a good
when
one.
I'll tell you one. I'll tell you two. One is when he died. I went to the top of Grand Targhee, which is on the Idaho side of the Tetons, but it's in Wyoming, and we took off from 11,000 feet in a tandem paraglider. Got up till 17.5, circled the Grand Teton for a while, and then landed in Teton Village, 20 miles away, like 3.5 hours later.
This is you and a dead dog.
And well, it was ashes.
Ashes.
Spread them over the Grand.
So you let him go while you were up
But
17,000
I wasn't
feet.
the pilot.
Okay.
But nobody's ever done a tandem paragliding flight from Targhee to Teton Village. But that was just a little thing I could do for him.
Wow.
One
so you
other-
sprinkled his ashes from 17,000 feet.
Yes.
Wow.
But one other quick story
Yes.
about Cody. And then we got to move on. But
Not
one
really.
time,
We don't have to.
well, we don't have to. But
We could play another song. If we did.
I would go to CC's Coffee every day back in the early part of the millennium,
yeah.
and I'd get coffee every day. I'd move back to New Orleans with Cody. It was kind of a tough decision, but remember one day there's a long line at CC's and I needed my coffee fix. And he didn't have a leash at that point. Big line, and I'm like, he knows what to do. I got to get my coffee, and I'm waiting in line.
So you leave him outside.
People getting in line behind me, these gals, and then this police officer comes in, and it's like, excuse me, ladies, is this your dog? And they're like, no. And then I go, he's with me. And he looks, and I have like a Cody's Cafe shirt or mug or something, and he just goes, all right, I just want to make sure he's with somebody, and he moves on. He didn't say, get him on a leash or whatever, you know.
He was well behaved.
Well, he was. He definitely was new.
So how old was this dog?
He lived a
to
long time. I mean, I don't know how
How
old
many
he
years?
was.
15, 14, 10 years?
I had him about 10 years.
And that's the best story
And he was
you've
full
got.
grown when I got him.
That's
I
the best story. As a cop comes in and says, is this your dog? You've got to have a better story.
I mean,
Come on.
he's ridden chairlifts, which
Oh, that's more like it. Okay,
And,
that would have been a better story then. Why did you pick the cop comes in and says, "Is that your dog's?"
well, CC's in New Orleans. People can
Trying to
relate,
tie it
know where
in.
that is.
Magazine Street.
Yeah, Magazine
It's
Street.
another Magazine Street story.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
I
all
was
right.
trying to stick to the
I
point.
thought you had to have a better. I mean, I thought the dog was going to save someone from
Well,
a burning building. Or
I mean, here's a
You know.
like one day I had this natural food store in Montana, and it was just
so you've had a coffee shop in Utah and a natural food
well,
store in
no,
Montana.
and that was in Idaho.
Idaho. Sorry.
He
And-
would only get arrested, in fact, on even years. On odd years, he wouldn't. But I'll tell you what, when you hit January 1st of '96, man, he was in the clink. But it was kind of a weird thing. Idaho is a crazy area. And
Boise is one of my favorite cities ever. I love Boise, Idaho so much.
I don't think I've ever heard
Neville
anyone
Brothers
say that.
coffee.
I really love it.
Did
It's
you ever
the
go to
sweetest-
Neville? You
Never
drink
been.
coffee?
Yeah, I do.
Neville Brothers got a coffee shop in Boise. It's
It's
different
just-
Neville
The
Brothers.
people are so sweet out there. They really
Is that
are.
right? What were
Yeah.
you doing there?
I went to like a concert, and one of my good girlfriends, Jen Becker, lives up there, so I went to visit.
Okay.
And it's just
You
such
love
a
it.
it's just lovely people, and it's beautiful up there. And it's,
What are you doing now that you're not dancing?
well,
And
actually,
we'll get
I'm,
one more story about Cody. And
All right.
I'm dancing again now because I just started a heels class for ladies to kind of come and. There's two different heels classes that go on in New Orleans. There's this girl, Rachel, who is one of the Pelicans dancers who teaches at NOLA Spaces uptown. And then I'm also teaching a heels class now, but it's... I
Heels?
wanted heels, yeah. 'Cause
Heels
I,
is Heels.
yes.
And what does that mean? What is a
well,
heels?
I used to be a pussycat doll in Las Vegas. That was my singing gig. And we do choreography. It's just more sexy. It's like fun
More sexy than what?
than ballet or jazz or any other kind of normal dance
Are you
class.
engaged?
I am.
Look at the size of that engagement ring. It's gigantic.
Yeah.
I'm engaged to Desi Vega of Desi Vega Steakhouse.
Are you really for real?
Yeah, for real.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
Thanks.
congratulations.
Thanks.
So you get a lot of free steaks.
Yeah, and I don't even need a lot of steak. Isn't
Cody
that
likes steak, right?
No.
He did. In fact, I could
Sorry.
give him. Well, he did. But
I
if
kill
I
cows.
could stick some like fillet, some prime meat in front of him, and then if I would howl, he would have to howl. He would put the meat down, and he had to howl, even though it
Even
was
if it
like
was
the
the real
choicest
meat
piece
there.
of meat.
Do you like
because-
to howl?
Yeah, he didn't really bark. When he was in New Orleans, he did bark 15 times a week. He had a schedule.
But huskies are kind of talkers, aren't they? They're
Well,
more
he's a
like,
howler, not a barker.
Yeah, they don't bark. They're
but
more
he,
like
But
the-
he did bark 15 times a week living in New Orleans. And then-
15 times a week.
Yes.
He was on a real schedule.
Well, he had the mailman, the garbage man, and the newspaper. And that was all he'd bark at.
Well, that's pretty standard. What about UPS? Not worried about that or FedEx?
No, not so
Okay.
much for FedEx.
I
But,
wish we'd met this dog. He sounds like quite a character. Well, Flint.
Well,
I'm sure Flint is a great guy,
in
too.
fact,
Look, here's his
He's
baseball
immemorialized
cap.
on
there's
Cody's
a
Cafe.
baseball hat. Okay.
So you
Sweet.
moved back to New Orleans and decided you didn't want to be in your own business. You wanted to go work at Whole Foods and unload trucks.
well, something.
Seems like you could make a lot more money if you opened a coffee shop. You seem to know what you're doing.
Restaurants are a tough business,
Right.
and you got to work a lot. I mean, at least I'm only working 40 hours a week, but
Right.
if you're in a restaurant, you're
Yeah, it's a lot of
lucky
work.
if you
True.
work 60
True.
hours a week.
Yeah. So Emily, when's the wedding? Are we invited?
Oh, I'm not sure. I just
You're not
got
sure. Who would
engaged.
know?
I can't even think about planning a wedding right now. It's too stressful.
How long have you been engaged for?
A few weeks. We went.
That's
we,
for it's
Wow.
recent.
yeah, we just got back from
awesome.
Italy, and he proposed to me in Venice.
Wow, that's romantic. Just now, just
Venice
recently.
And where?
Huh?
Where? Venice and where else?
Venice in Italy,
Oh.
in our hotel on our balcony.
Venice.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
Were you expecting that, or was it a
Yeah.
shocking? You were. So you weren't surprised. How long have you been dating?
Almost 3 years.
Oh, that's a long
Yeah.
time.
I mean, he was like, "You're not surprised?" I was like, "I know you. Like, you're so predictable."
Well, how exciting.
Yeah. It was nice.
So you're here forever then. You guys aren't going anywhere.
I mean, I'm part in Lafayette too because that's where my family is. So I try to spend
Right.
as much time as I can in Lafayette.
We could open another branch of the restaurant in Lafayette.
That's what
for
I've
you.
been
Good idea.
hassling him to do that. And we just opened a burger place in Harahan.
Oh, really? What's that called?
Desi Vegas
name?
Prime Burgers.
Cool.
Been there, anybody? You don't eat meat now.
Yeah,
so.
you don't eat meat. Sorry, we have
Tommy,
salads.
you're no good. Rathbone, you eat meat?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, so you could go there.
I
Come
could go
on
there.
down.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to get out of here, though.
All right.
You're giving us the wind-up message. Okay, so have we covered anything that we said we were going to cover today?
Come to my class
Come
June
to
8th.
nothing, right? We haven't. June 8th is your class. If you
Is
listen
my
to this
next heels
before
class
June
and-
8th, 2000, what year is this? 17.
17-ish. Yeah.
June 8th, the heels class, which is, we don't really know what that is,
Well,
but we can find out when we get there. I suppose.
we-
What is
yeah.
it? Some sort of dance class?
It's just dance and heels, and it's fun, and it's going to be the next class I'm doing is going to be to all that jazz. It's going to be Bob Fosse style.
Oh, so you wear heels?
Yes, you wear heels.
You wear
while
heels?
dance.
Like
It's very
boots?
sexy. You can wear boots
Or high heels?
or high heels.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why it's called a heels class. I see. All right. Okay, that makes sense. You got that, Tommy?
Yes.
Rathbone, you got that?
I got it. Heels.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll see you in your
Heels.
heels.
Yeah, only on the weekends.
So
though.
if we'll put a link to it on our website. And Emily's name is Emily East, which is spelled I-S-T-R-E if you're looking
That's
for her.
right.
That's correct.
And Rathbone's name is spelled R-A-T-H-B-O-N-E.
That's it.
And you can find that on Bandcamp and on SoundCloud.
That's correct.
Well, if you would like to go hear some music, and we have links to that on our website as well. And thank you to Claire and also to Mark Linam for joining us as well and singing and playing. I'm sorry we didn't get a second song in there, but
It's all right.
somehow we got talking about being shot and Cody and one thing and another.
This guy got shot over here.
Yeah. And Tommy Hayne has been here as well. Tommy, thanks for joining us. You can meet Tommy down at Whole Foods anytime. Go and ask for him by name.
Not to be confused with Heidi Haynes.
Heidi Hayne.
Heidi Haynes.
There's two Heidi Hayneses. Let's not start that. One of them's your sister and one of them's not.
Correct.
Right. We had a very confusing whole thing. And one of the Heidi Haynes has got a show called Happy Hour. That's how this whole thing started. Oh my God, was that a confusing day? But that's a whole other story. Thank you so much for joining us. That's Happy Hour. It's all over. The show was produced today by Graham DePonte, and our associate producers are Alison Moon and April Stolf. Christian Unruh is our music director, and Jean Valois is our music producer. Thomas Walsh is our technical director. And our live feed directors who made this all possible on Facebook Live. And if you didn't see it on Facebook Live, go take a look at it right now. Are Asher Griffith and Grayson Jernigan. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright for about an hour while drinking alcohol, drop us a line. Our address is on our website. It's neworleans.com. We can also check out many other hours of Happy Hour that are up there, as well as some other shows we make here. Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace. True to the Game with Chris True. Midnight Menu +1 with Margot Moss and the Man Who Ate New Orleans, Ray Canada. Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tooker. And the podcast about death. Death the Podcast with psychologist Dr. Arian Alfan. You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and itsbatonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on Facebook and on Twitter and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well, including Instagram. On all of it, we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook page. Those photos were taken by Alison Moon. If you listen to this show on your favorite podcast app, thank you for subscribing to us. Take a moment, if you've got it, to rate and review us. That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfare on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. For all of us around the table here at Wayfare and back at our office in INO Broadcasting, and Andrew Duhon, who'll be back here next week. Today's his birthday, so he's got the day off. So happy birthday, Andrew. You can find out more about him at andrewduhon.com. I'm Grant Morris. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you back here next week on Happy Hour.
Venus, your style guide for fun, sexy style, is getting you ready for shorter days and cooler weather during the annual Venus Fashion Week event. The new Venus Fall Fashion Collection has arrived, and it's a perfect time to get amazing deals on new styles that have made Venus famous, from weekdays at the office to weekends on the town. Shop hundreds of new fall styles and get $15 when you spend $100, $30 off when you spend $150, and $50 off when you spend $200 or more. Just go to Venus.com or download the Venus app and use the promo code SWEATER to save during the last days of Venus Fashion Week.